Hey, sports fans, it's Mo Carter. Every high school football team in the Tennessee Valley has a goal of hoisting up a blue map at this year's Super 7 in Birmingham. And in order to get there, you have to do work in the off-season. This summer, the Fox 54 sports team chatted with a number of squads about their upcoming season. And you can check out some of your favorite teams right now on another edition of the First Down Friday Night Preview Series.
Fantastic season in 2024. Good things, 8 wins. Clearly, you had to feel good about that. How did that momentum carry into the offseason, and how do you roll it into 2025?
Well, I think it's one of those years where you can build on that success. We've got a good number of kids coming back. We have 9 starters on offense coming back, 4 on defense. So, I mean, we've got some kids that now have tasted that winning aspect of things that may not have been common around the Ardmore area, and I feel like that gave our kids a sense of motivation to, hey, don't leave that legacy with last year's group, create your own this year, and I think it's added that extra motivation to maybe, hey, what's the next step? What do we need to do to try to get to that next step? However you want to answer that question, I think that's sort of been the mindset of our kids through the off season, spring, and now through the summer of how can we be better than what we were last year.
This time last year, I remember you telling me that you had special groups of kids with the junior class last year, which is now seniors, and the seniors that have now gone. So how do you feel about this class for 2025? That's from a leadership standpoint.
They have been really, really good leaders for us. And the thing with this group is that large majority of them have been around our program for a long time. So they understand the expectation. They understand what it means, like the standard at practice or in the weight room or just in the school building itself. And so having that experience sort of begins to soothe that leadership aspect of things. And these guys take it, especially these 2 sitting with me today, they sort of take ownership in that, hey, they've been around good years and bad years. And, how do we continue to build off of the good ones? And they've taken it and taken some guys with them. And now we're beginning to grow and build a sustainable culture at Ardmore.
I remember last year a big talk was the fact that basically every school in the county was finally getting the chance to really have those county rivalries, either be reborn or be reissued among it or whatever.
Right.
How do you feel that really kind of helped your program and really football in the county in general?
Well, I think it helps, because they all know each other. We have a career tech center here in Limestone County where a lot of the kids from all the schools across the county may go to school together over there. But I think that's something special in high school football that because of how region play has taken over, you lose some of that. And if you're able to do it and sort of rekindle maybe some of the rivalries or, continue some, then I think that really helps in how your season, things you look forward to as a group. And I mean, there is some bragging rights that go along with it, and I think that's very important.
Awesome. I've got 2 more for you. Let's talk about your opener. You'll be taking on Tanner against Coach Smith, who's right across the room. I know they kind of had a step back here, but they had a lot of young guys.
They did.
How do you feel about what they can probably bring to the table this year when you face them?
Yeah, well, I know that Coach Smith, what type of job he does and his staff. I know a lot of those guys that coach with him, and I know what they're about. And so I know that after having now a year under their belt of establishing what they need to establish culture-wise, scheme-wise, whatever it is, I know that they're going to be a lot better than what they felt like they were last year. And so we're going to have to prepare not for last year's Tanner team, but for a new Tanner team because we know that they're going to be different, more experienced. I think he's got a few more kids out. So, we've got to take care of our business, and not worry about, well, they were this last year. No, it's 2025. Everybody's different. So that's how we got to approach it.
Indeed. And just on a final note, kind of just give me, your insight on what you think what this region's going to look like from a competition standpoint.
Well, I think this region is one of the most competitive in the state, top to bottom. You do have a couple of schools that maybe have in the past have been maybe your top 2 with Fairview and Russellville, but I do think that the rest of us in the region have become more and more competitive as the years gone on, and now top to bottom, you better come ready to play each and every week or you're going to slip up and not reach your goals. So I feel like our region is as competitive as any of the ones across the state, top to bottom. There's nobody that stands out that's just going to be better and everybody else is fighting for the next position. I think we all all 7 of us can truly battle for those top positions in the region.
Will, man, your team's coming off an 8-win season. How did it feel to have so much success in 2024?
It felt great. Coming off a 1-9 season, turning around, going 8-3. Probably one of the top 5 feelings I've had.
Awesome. So now, as a senior who has been through basically the worst of times and some of the better times or whatever, how do you feel that you guys can translate that over into the upcoming year?
Well, we've had a lot of downfalls and we've had a lot of success. So if you take the two and put them together, I believe you can learn from your mistakes and push on forward.
So we know, Ardmore is a community that loves, their Tigers and the football team. How do you feel that the community reacted to, such a great season last year?
Well, if you look at the crowds, it was as packed as an NFL game. So, I imagine it probably got some people more pulled into how football was.
Yep. And I'll just leave you on this. Kind of just give me, your thoughts on how well can this team do in 2025, especially with such a tough region.
We'll do good. We'll do great. We're expected to win a lot of games, and I believe that we can.
How does it feel to basically go from a 1-win season to an 8-win season and really turn things around as you roll into 2025?
Feels pretty good. It's a lot more fun winning than losing.
I understand, Coach Schneider said, he loves the group of guys that have become leaders, especially since y'all have been on both sides of the thing. How do you carry momentum now over from having 8 wins last year into 2025?
Just really got to put our heads down and keep going forward and do what we're coached to do. Not really look at what happened last year because it's a new year this year. Many things have changed.
Indeed. Will talked about the community support, talking about, fans packing out the stands. Was that a really, really good feeling to have, the support, especially since I know they'll support you guys, but when it's winning, it just kind of helps the ordeal?
Yeah, that's a real big factor. They talk about the 12th man in college. I think that helps a lot. Having the fan base is just motivating.
How well do you think your team can do in 2025 with the momentum, especially with the very, very tough region that you'll have to, go up against week after week?
I think we'll do pretty good. We can be as good as we want to be as a team. It's really just up to us. Nobody else can decide what we do.
A brand new season of Fox 54's First Down Friday Night begins on Friday, August the 22nd on Fox 54 and the Fox 54 Plus app.